Yeah, so yesterday we did the annual State of the City at Eagle Point Lodge. So this was the fifth one that I've done, which is kind of crazy. And I kind of started it off yesterday thinking about and kind of telling the people our first State of the City when I first got elected, when I took office in 2020. We did it in November. It was Veterans Day. It was COVID. Everything was closed. So the first State of the City was literally me, Matt Brook, and then IT Josh Hansen in the council chambers by ourselves, social distancing, live on Facebook and on YouTube, standing at the podium there. So it's kind of evolved. I mean, we had well over 100 people there yesterday for there's lunch served, and then we went through the program and everything. So really cool to be able to do this and kind of tell folks kind of where we're at in the city, the projects that we accomplished, things that maybe people don't know that actually happened, and it's been good.
So are we going to go over some of the things you talked about, or do you want to touch on what you did yesterday?
I can touch on it real quick. So,
okay.
What we went through, obviously, financial stability is obviously one thing that's key. Probably our biggest goal. Not probably, it is our biggest goal. And financially, we're very good. We maintained a AAA rating for bond rating, which is like our credit score, kind of to speak, for the city. So we maintained that, which is very good. All of our funds are in positive balances, like they should be. Everything's good on that front. Our tax levy has been below the 15-year average the last FY24 and FY25. We're hoping to maintain that as well going into the next year. It kind of depends on what changes the state makes for property taxes. They've been doing a lot of shakeups, but we'll kind of sit tight and see what they're doing. Won't necessarily affect us next year, but the year after. So financially, we're sitting really good. I think everybody can feel the pain and the happiness of all the great projects we've done around town in regards to roads and things like that. So we're kind of winding up construction season and things are getting back open, but we've accomplished a lot of road projects. Our pavement management index remains at 65, which is very good. And we're continuing to invest in that and continue to focus on that stuff. And then, small little projects around town that you see here and there, all the way down to like the sculptures that we added around town, and then the new painting of the old McElhaney's building and things like that. So we're really just trying to highlight everything. We highlighted, I hope I didn't miss anything, and if I did, I apologize, but I think we highlighted all the new businesses that opened over the last year, the Jersey Mike's and a couple places on the West End, Creative Design Works and Elite Graphics on Fifth Avenue South. Miles Communication has a spot, the old bookstore on Fifth Avenue South. So we touched on all of those businesses that are coming in, Atlas Roofing, everything that is really good on that front. And then we even mentioned, like, we have a lot of buildings on Fifth Avenue South and Lions that are getting facelifts. People are investing in the facades in their building and changing them, and that's been really cool as well. So all of those types of things, we go in there and we go into how much investment has been in the community from the citizens. It's like $117 million worth of stuff people have done to residential properties in the last year. That's awesome, right?
That is. That is amazing.
Yeah, so if you want to see the whole thing, you can go to our YouTube channel and you can watch it. It's about 40 minutes, but it's got a lot of great information in there. So
okay, and just quickly, Springdale Drive is great now.
Yeah, I haven't driven on it yet. Is it officially open now?
I think it is. I think it is. And
yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah, from where I live, I get places on Bluff more than anything because I live right off of Bluff. So,
okay.
Yeah, so I didn't know if it was officially open yet.
It is, and
cool.
It's great. Home Rule Charter Review Commission applications.
Yeah, so those are officially open. We are conducting a Home Rule Charter review. If folks don't know, the Home Rule Charter is the document that governs the government in the city of Clinton. It talks about what our form of government is, what the responsibilities of government is, and all of that. So we're one of 3 cities in the Iowa that still has a home rule charter. And as we are doing this park ordinance thing, we realized that we're supposed to be reviewing that, and it's never been reviewed since 1987. So it's supposed to be at least every 10 years is the way I interpret the code. So we're kind of kicking off that review. We're taking applications. They'll be chosen by the Advisory Appointments Committee, which is led by me. 9 citizens. You got to live in the city of Clinton. You got to follow all the rules of any other board or commission, right? So 9 citizens will be selected. We're looking for people that maybe have government experience, business experience, education experience, whatever professional experience. We want like a mix of people on this. We don't want 9 people that were in government in the past or 9 people that are small business owners. We want a good mix on that 9 so that we get a good idea of how the citizens want our government to operate. And going through this, they have a year to do it. There may be no changes that are suggested, but then there may be some changes that the citizens suggest to council, and then council would have to deliberate on whether they want to adopt those. So I think it's kind of a cool thing. It's never been done, so we're looking forward to that. Applications will be taken until January 3rd. We're going to have a meeting on January 3rd, and we're going to discuss and pick the 9 folks to recommend to council for this commission on that day.
Have you gotten some applications already, or?
Yeah, actually, I know 2 people have reached out to me and said, "Hey, I already they watched our meeting on Tuesday night when we talked about it. They're like, "Hey, I looked online, it was there, so I applied." And I'm like, "Okay, perfect." So,
well, that'll be great.
I think it's going to be a tough job for the advisory appointments to pick, because I expect that we're going to have well over 9 people apply, which is a good thing. That's what we want, right? And then we're going to have to sift through them and find folks that we feel are the most qualified to kind of lead these discussions.
All right, very interesting.
Yeah.
Again, Scott Maddasion, our guest. Rebuilding of BNS to Building Safety Division?
Yeah, so we're doing a little bit of a rebranding. Building and Neighborhood Services is down at the Central Fire Station, and our new fire chief. I guess he's not new. I guess is still new. Fire Chief Mike McQuistion has kind of come in, and he's trying to create a nice chain of command and make it easy for citizens to kind of get through the process of building permits and all of those types of things. So Building and Neighborhood Services, he felt, and I agree, that the name is kind of confusing, because people would come with questions that are maybe more for community development or something like that. So they're now called the Building Safety Division of the Fire Department, and they're overseen by the fire chief and the fire marshal, and that's who's the kind of the chain of command is in charge. But if you see Building Safety Division, that is the old BNS, and they're trying to make it so that it's just easier to understand, like, hey, what are they doing? Like, if you have a building that's falling down, the Building Safety Division is where you would go, right? So that's kind of what they're looking at. They would get calls like, hey, can we get a street light in our neighborhood? That's more of our neighborhood improvement committee, right? Or community development, not necessarily the building folks down there. So that's all it is, but I just want people to be aware that that is going to be out there, a new name, and that's what that office is.
Okay, so the Building Safety Division. Yep. I'll touch one more thing before we take a break for the weather. Park ordinance has one more reading?
Yeah, so the park ordinance that was suggested by the petition, the council has worked with those folks and kind of created and drafted an ordinance. It's got to go through 3 readings to be put into the code of ordinances. We're doing it one at a time, and we've gone through 2 readings. It's been a 7-0 vote both times. I don't see any reason why it would not go through on the last reading, but that last reading would be on November 26th is our next meeting. So that would be the last reading for that. And if it passes with at least 4 votes, then it would go into the code of ordinances. So.
Okay, and then what ordinance, what are they looking at?
That's basically the petition that came out to not sell the parks, any park ground without approval of the citizens. So if we wanted to sell any park ground, or the city council wanted to sell any park ground, then it would have to go through approval of the citizens. So a referendum vote in order for that to
Okay, so it would have to go
occur.
to a vote then.
Yep, this is in because of the DeWitt Park sale to YWCA for the supportive housing. That's what this was all stemmed from. So now, if something like that were to happen again in similar fashion, it would have to go to a vote to the citizens. It doesn't change the ability to do like a lease, like we do with the Lumber Kings at the Riverview Stadium, or Candlelight Inn, or something like that. It doesn't change those abilities, but if any sale of ground happened, then it would have to go through that process.
All right, very good. Check of the weather being brought to you by Dan Dolan with Mill Creek Crossing.
Lots of clouds expected to hang around for your Thursday. Some patchy fog early, and even a stray shower possible, with temperatures heading into the low to mid 50s for this afternoon. We'll still see partly to mostly cloudy skies overnight, and a cooler night. Overnight lows dropping into the upper 30s. With your Storm Track 8 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Sky getting a little brighter out there, 47 degrees. Our update brought to you by Dan Dolan.
If
the monthly rental cost of retirement facility living has you scared, you're not alone. Hi, I'm Dan Dolan of the Villas at Mill Creek, and I've got the answer. If you are over age 62, you can utilize reverse mortgage for purchase to buy one of my new age-in-place townhomes with a one-time down payment and no future mortgage payments. That's it. You just pay your taxes, insurance, and a monthly $65 fee. We mow the lawn and shovel the snow. Call me at 381-4088 for all the details, or visit our model home at Mill Creek Crossing, or call your favorite local realtor.
Going to continue now with Mayor Scott Maddasion. Up next, upcoming projects for capital improvements.
This is just something I wanted to throw out there. Our capital improvements planning starts in January, and that is like the list of projects that we want to do in the next fiscal year, whether it's roads or anything like that. And I think I brought it up here before. I put on the list about putting a public splash pad somewhere up in the north end. I think that would be a great feature in the main avenue, Rainbow Park area, somewhere in that. Would be really nice to have that up in that area. So I put that on there, and I want to throw it out there. If any citizens are listening and you have an idea of a project that you would like to see happen in the city, email me, call me, whatever you want to do, let me know. We'll get it on the list. We'll start vetting it. We'll start looking at it, because I really want the capital improvements planning process to not be necessarily always the vision of myself and the council, but the citizens. So if there's something that the citizens want, we need to know that. Tell us, and we'll get it on there, and then we'll see how we can get it worked out and hopefully get it done.
Are there some projects on this list already, Scott?
Yeah, there's always projects on this list. Some of it is obviously roads is on there. Pavement management is part of the capital improvements planning, obviously, and we have a nice long list of roads in the order that we need to get them resurfaced or reconstructed, whatever that is. But it can be anything from we just moved the marina shop down on the water there, right? So the marina shop is right by the gas pumps. That's something that you put on capital improvements, or the new speaker towers down at the band shell, the new speaker towers for the band shell there. That's something that you can put on there. If there was a renovation that we wanted to do to Emma Young Park or the Erickson Center or something like that, all those things are on there. And then it happens, like if we need to put a new roof on a building, that might be on there, or a new AC unit. So it can be a whole mess of different things. On the citizen side, I think what's more concerning would be, if you wanted, Kleppy Park is right down the road here, right? Not set for park equipment, but if the neighborhood wanted something like that there, okay, let's get that on the list and let's take a look at it. So,
is there a place where people can go to see what's already on this list, or no?
It'll be a public meeting coming in January.
Okay.
Nothing's been posted yet,
Okay.
so you'll be able to see that there. Well, I mean, one thing I put on there too is I would like the 300 block of Fifth Avenue South to look like the 1 and 200 blocks, right? When you with the nice planters and the trees and the things like that. I don't know why in the past they stopped at 3rd Street there, right?
Yeah, right.
I feel like the business district of Fifth Avenue South starts 1 block down, right, to the west there. So I think that's one thing that I would like to do. I think it'd be really cool, and we have 3 new businesses in there now. We've got only one. We have the old post office that needs redone. We're working on the YMCA, and then there's the old Banner home furnishing. Was in the middle there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only building left that's unoccupied, right? So we've got a lot of stuff going on that block, and I feel like as we redo Manufacturing Drive and Bluff, and we bring people in that corridor, and we send them down Fifth Avenue South, and they got that nice, canopy of trees. I feel like when we get to that block, it should look like the rest of it and start there. So, I don't know. That's just something that I think would be cool, and it would kind of spruce up that area a little bit too, because the sidewalks are looking kind of rough. We need to make it a little cleaner. So.
Very good. Got a ribbon cutting coming up on Monday.
Yeah, so November 18th, 8 a.m. on South First Street, across from Hy-Vee there, where those buildings came down. That's where the 4 townhomes are going to start. That's Build to Suit. They're doing a project there. It'll be four townhomes along there, and they'll be for sale. I can't remember the price range, but it's under 300 is what the price range will be. Really trying to redevelop that area in that neighborhood, right? So bring some new stuff to it, and then hopefully we can continue to see some great things happening around that area as we go. So that'll be kicked off on the 18th.
Who's the contractor for that? Do you
Build
know?
to Suit.
Okay.
Yep, they're the ones that they're out of the Quad Cities.
Okay.
And they're they're the ones that are going to be leading the charge on this. And then they're also, I think, out working on the ad craft too. I think they're doing both those projects.
Oh, yeah, that's
in
right.
Clinton.
Yeah,
So-
I did see that.
So we're starting to see some developers in other places kind of get interested in Clinton, which is exciting.
That'll be great when AdCraft gets up and going out there.
Yeah, I was at the ribbon cutting for that a couple weeks back, and talking to Dan and Colin, and man, it's going to be cool. It's
Yeah.
going to be really neat what they're doing. I love their vision. I love their idea, and hopefully that spurs. We've got some great businesses in the Lions Tech Park there, and I think they're almost full up now. I don't think there's going to be any empty space after a while here, and hopefully some more buildings come in out there, and we see some expansion. And I know they want like a restaurant thing to come
Yes.
into that little AdCraft complex, so maybe that will spur some more things like that along Mill Creek, right? I think that's an exciting.
It is, no doubt about that. So I got a couple of holiday things that are coming up to talk about.
Yeah, so the holiday train's coming 3:30-ish on November 27th. That's a Wednesday. We are very fortunate to get the holiday train every year. It's not normal that they stop in the same places every single year, but we have gotten it, and that's strictly because the generosity of all the people and the amount of food and donations that they give to this cause. And information referral assistance is the one that kind of receives the benefits from that, which is also awesome because it is completely local.
Yeah.
They are a local establishment that helps local people, which is really cool. So that's why we keep getting this. So continue to come support it. I'll be there. We'll be having a lot of fun, and just make sure you come out and
It is
see
a
us.
great area, too, there on Main Avenue. I mean,
Yeah.
right at the end of Main Avenue, and you got all that area that,
Yeah.
you might have to hike a little bit to get there
Sure.
where you park your car, but
Yep.
once you get there, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, and they always have a nice entertainment. The music, the band that comes through is always really good too. So I know the one they had last year. I actually looked them up on Spotify, and I listened to them quite a bit. Actually, they've got some good original stuff out there. So
So again, that'll be Wednesday, November 27th, the holiday
Yep.
train.
Yep.
Coming up, are you going to light the tree, Mayor?
yeah, I think I have the date wrong, and it's December 6th. Yeah. The 4th is a Wednesday. It's,
Right, so
it's
it's
Friday.
December 6th.
December 6th, yes. The downtown SMID has actually teamed up with Make-A-Wish this year. So I will be there for the tree lighting, but the Make-A-Wish Foundation is going to have someone there that will be actually officially lighting the tree this year, with I think is a really cool partnership. And I don't know all the details, but I've heard some rumblings that there's going to be some more events down there. It's going to start around 4 o'clock, and it's going to be an evening, not just a tree lighting and everybody heads out, right? So plan around that. Plan to bring your family down there. There's going to be some family-friendly stuff going on, and it'll be a lot of fun. So
that's right at the start of the riverfront, right on
Correct.
6th Avenue South, right down there? Okay.
5th Avenue South.
Oh, at 5th
It's
Avenue
Fifth
South.
Avenue South and First Street.
Okay.
They put that right there. So
Okay.
kitty corner from
The post office.
from
No,
kitty
no.
corner from the Masonic Temple building.
Yes.
And Lou Ray's place right there on the corner.
Okay, I know where you're at now.
Yep,
So
yep.
again, that'll be Friday, December the 6th, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And we got time to talk about Tailgate and Tall Boys. We're going to have Josh Agers in on December the 5th, but how are things looking for that music festival?
Things are looking really good. We're moving right along. As we mentioned off the air, the entire lineup is not completely booked yet. The first and second acts each day, they take a little bit longer because you got to get the headliners and the direct supports built, and then you got to kind of fine tune who you want in those first 2 slots there. And those ones always take a little bit longer to book. So we're getting ready for that. We announced September last year and started selling tickets like the September 1st with a lot of things going on, the elections and all that kind of stuff. They kind of pushed it back a little bit. And talking to Wayne from USA Concerts, he always wanted to be the first one out of the gate that announced. And then as they look at when our sales happen, most of our sales are towards the event, right? You're talking April, May, and beginning of June is when most of our sales come. So they kind of slowed it down a little bit this year. We're going to save a little bit of money on marketing, obviously, because we're not marketing in September and November, or in October and November. So, yeah, you're looking at probably first week in December. Don't hold me to that you'll see the entire lineup announced, not just headliners and not anything like that. So entire lineup announced beginning of December, and then shortly after that, probably a week after that, you'll see tickets go on sale, and everything will go on sale at one time. So you will not have to wait for camping or parking or anything like that. When tickets go on sale, you'll have your options to pick your campsites. You'll have your options to do parking. Your tickets, obviously, you can do VIP. You can do the super fan upgrade. You can do general admission. We're going to have all of those things available at that on sale. So
How often do you and Josh get together?
Josh and I talk about every day about stuff like this. And right now, it's maybe not every single day, but when we get in the thick of it, and it's like April, May timeframe, it's multiple times a day.
Yeah.
You know, Josh will call me like, hey, and we'll, and then a couple hours later, something else will come up. So we coordinate quite a bit on this. And then, when the festival actually comes, we're basically together, from like Monday of that week until Sunday morning,
No, it's the third week, right? Third week in June?
No, it's the first weekend in June.
First weekend.
Yeah, so it's like, is it 5, 6, 7 this year?
Okay, so the first weekend in June. Okay.
It's like June 5, 6, 7 this year, I think, is what it is.
Okay, and we're going to try and do what we
Yeah.
did last year. Josh Agers, I've got to talk to Josh yet. I hope to have him December 5th on FYI.
Yeah.
But then after that, he'll always be in on the fourth Thursday of the month and give us updates on how things are exactly going.
Yeah, so if anybody's out there that wants to sponsor too, you can reach out to myself or Josh. We've got a lot of great partnerships, but there's plenty of room for more people. And we added one sponsorship this year. It's a fence banner sponsor. We have a lot of fence area, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on a short budget, but you want to market at the event, for $500, you get a 4x8 banner. We'll brand it with the Tailgate Tall Boys logo. It'll have your logo on it. It'll be hung kind of right up in the area where people are walking in, so you'll get noticed as you're going in. So that's a new option this year. So if you don't have a huge budget, you can at least get involved that way too.
And I know the people that have been involved in sponsorships, the renewal on that's been almost 100%.
Almost 100%. And there's a lot of them that have doubled up. And we had our sponsor appreciation a week or so ago, had a lot of sponsors there. And there's a lot of people asking questions about like, okay, what's the next level? What do I get for the next level? And which is really cool. So, and we had, I think it was 5 or 6 people sign contracts at the sponsorship appreciation. Like, yep, we're in next year, so let's go.
That is great.
The support from the community in sponsorships has been awesome. Obviously from Wild Rose as the title sponsor, all the way down to whatever our lowest number sponsor was. All the people that trade their services. Local businesses that provide lunches during the day. I mean, obviously they're making money off that, which is great, but usually it's like 100 to 150 lunches per day that they're providing, and we've used all local establishments for that each day, which is cool. Pizza in the evening, whether it's any of the places in town. So yeah, I mean, we're trying to get as much as we can involved, and there's going to be a lot more camping options this year. We're going full throttle on camping. We think that's going to be our niche. Like Clinton is just going to be, a giant campground for for 4 or 5 days. But that's exciting because we're bringing a lot of people. Last year, over 35,000 people came over the weekend. And if you think about it, our population's 24,469.
Yeah.
Since
More than doubled our population.
per the census. Yeah. So I mean, it's exciting, and we got approval from council to work on a new contract. So we're talking with USA Concerts right now. We're negotiating hopefully a 5-year deal where we'll make sure and have them around for 5 more years.
Great. We've covered a lot today, but if people would like to find out more about our city, how are some ways they can do that?
Yeah, always sign up on the website for our civic web that gets you all the notices that you want for all the meetings and all the press releases and anything that comes out. We had over 100 new subscribers in this past year on that platform alone, which is really cool. We're really big into updating social media, so check our Facebook page and Twitter and Instagram and all that. You can see anything that we're pushing out, but just like I always say, you can reach out to myself or any council members. That's what we're here for. We work for you, and we're here to get you the information that you want. So,
Scott, thank you so much.
yeah, no problem.